Hello?
I don't know if I'm on or not.
Yes, you are, Gretchen.
Excellent. Oh, that's good.
Hi, Christine.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sherry?
Hi, how are you?
Okay, good. So, Chris, you're doing good there?
I am, thank you.
Very good. I'm trying to keep track of who's attending. So I save a little log of, the attendees.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So you guys, I think, Sherry, you shared your homework. Chris, you shared your homework. Gretchen, did you share your homework too?
No, I haven't, but here it is.
Okay, let me check. Okay, to start with, today I have a little bit of material to show you. And at the same time, I have to pay attention to see if anybody wants to join late. So today we're going to talk a little bit about trees. And this is a simple painting that I did a while ago when I was in Sugar Hill. I went painting in the snow. And you can see here this tree that's dark. This tree appears in the foreground, whereas this tree here appears to be more in the background. And why is it that this one appears to be more in the background? Automatically, we think it's more in the background for various reasons. One of the reasons is because it's a lot thinner than this one. Oops. And yes. And the other reason is because it's a lot shorter in terms of height. This one's about this high, whereas this one is much bigger. Can't really talk about the colors because this one is a birch tree, so that's why it's so much lighter. It's almost like white than this one. However, you can clearly see here the shadow. You can also see the shadow here. But the main two reasons is because this one's bigger and this one is also, the trunk is thicker and the tree is much taller. In terms of the height at which they appear at the same height on the canvas. However, we can feel there's a slope going down here, and this one is therefore lower in the landscape if we were there and we could walk towards this tree, from this tree. So we're going to talk about trees today. But let's start with a small exercise before we do the trees. And this small exercise is something that people ask me. How do you make a line so straight when you draw? Well, the answer is very simple. Practice, practice, practice. So the simple exercise we're going to start with today is do lines. Lines, so when I say let's do some horizontal lines, that means the lines have got to be drawn in a horizontal manner. And then when I say let's switch and do vertical lines, that means the drawn are to be done this way, not turn your book and continue doing it horizontal, because I've seen that. All right, so I'm going to show my little I'm going to turn my camera. All right, so the exercise of doing lines. This is extremely simple. You can take any pencil that you have. I just take my HB. And how do I make the lines so straight when I do horizontal lines? Well, it's practice, practice, practice. So this exercise is do like 50 lines if you can. I'll just give you 5 minutes to do 50 lines this way. And the more you do them, the straighter they will become. Or so they say. But practicing your lines is a good idea. So once you've done the horizontal lines for your whole page, a whole practice like this, then you can go on and do them vertical. Now, like I said before, doing the vertical lines doesn't mean that you turn your book and you continue doing them horizontal. So if I'm going to do them vertical, that means I have to move my pencil from top to down or down to up. Don't switch your book to go like this, because then you're going to continue doing horizontal lines. So there we go. Now we are going vertical. And the purpose is trying to get them as straight as possible. And the more you do them, the more they will be vertical. All right, now you have a few more minutes to finish your exercise. And if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me the question. So if you are doing a drawing and you want to draw, let's say you're drawing a building, you want to make sure that the side of the building is completely vertical compared to the side of your book or side of the canvas if you're doing a painting. So one way to make sure of that is you support yourself from the side of the book, and this becomes your guide. And this way, you know that as you draw your line, it's completely vertical because it's the exact same distance from here to here. So if I do it again, this time I'm going to do it just a little closer. So this is my guide, the side of my book, and I just come down, and therefore my line is very, very, very straight. Same thing if I were to do it, you know, from here, you know, then it's straight because it's the same distance from here to here. So that's a little trick that you can do also when you're painting. We're going to paint trees. Trees are usually not that straight. So if I show you the painting that I showed you before, the trees are usually, the branches go off in the tangent and on the right, on the left, and it's very, very organic in terms of shape, which makes them very interesting. So, hello, Cassie, how are you?
Hi, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. So I'm going to mute you. For this part of the class, I am going to share my screen to show you a little slideshow that I prepared. So I'm going to try and do this. So Gretchen, I can see you. Can you see my screen? Yes, okay, very good. All right, so in terms of doing, when we do a landscape, I'm gonna go like this just so that you guys can see the whole screen.
Claire, I can't see it. I have your logo up.
Yeah, it's my logo. The first page of the presentation is my logo with my photo. It says Chez Claire Art School.
Okay, great.
2020. So these are two very simple drawings. The tree on the left is supposed to be the same tree. It's fairly close. The horizon line's approximately the same spot. There's a mountain in the back that's approximately the same. The tree on the right-hand side, which is this one, if we compare this one with this one, well, this tree being much smaller indicates the tree is a lot further away. Although it's at the same height on the landscape, but this tree being smaller, it's a good indication that it's much further away. Whereas in this, on the left-hand side, the two trees, they appear to be fairly close because they're approximately the same size. So one way to make a drawing, to make a tree go back in a landscape is by making the tree in the background smaller. So I'm going to the next slide to show how, in this case, the tree on the right-hand side, which is this one here, compare with this one here. They're approximately the same size in terms of the leaves, although the one on this side is a little bit bigger. The tree trunk is exactly the same width, but the only difference is that this tree here on the right-hand side drawing is a lot higher on the grass. It's planted a lot higher on the grass than this one here. So as a result, on the left-hand side, the two trees seems to be on the same plan or at the same distance, close from the viewer. Whereas on the drawing on the right-hand side, the tree that has leaves in it, it appears to be much further away, although the amount of leaves is even a little bit more than the one on the other drawing. Where you plant your tree makes a big difference in a landscape. So this exercise that we're going to do now is I want you to try and replicate these two little drawings in your book. These are very small. They're like 2 by 3 or 3 by 4. They're small little painting. And you can try and see for yourself the fact that just by changing where the tree is planted makes a big difference. It's an optical illusion, I should say. So you can try that. I'll give you 5 minutes to try that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, sorry.